At this time, we are pleased to present the Robert D. Ray Pillar of Character Award. Previous recipients of this award are listed in your printed program and include Nobel Prize winner Norman Borlaug, Character Counts founder Michael Josephson. Past winners here with us tonight are the first school principal in Iowa to incorporate character counts, Jim Mays, and, of course, former Governor Robert D. Ray, in whose honor the award was named. The Pillar of Character Award was presented to Governor Ray in 2003 for his visionary leadership, as well as the exemplary character he demonstrates. The Ray Awards are the organization's highest honor and reflect Governor Ray's lifelong commitment to civility and character development. Tonight's recipient, like Governor Ray, demonstrates good character and provides leadership and inspiration to Iowans. Let's take a look.
President Maxwell believes in the importance of good character, and it shows in the way he leads the university community.
Governor Ray was instrumental in my coming to Drake. He was the president of Drake and on the board of trustees and part of the search process that selected me and immediately became, as he has for so many people, became a mentor and a role model. So in addition to the significance of the recognition from the organization, to have Governor Ray's name on it, given the role that he's played in my life, is just has wonderful personal meaning.
President Maxwell would be the first one to defer any recognition or honor to those that support the campus community at Drake. The reality is it also takes leadership from the top, and I've personally experienced where President Maxwell has engaged himself to bring the mission, vision, and values of Drake University to life, sending out emails to the campus community, encourage them how they may want to behave in a significant situation, whether that be when there's a significant protest on campus to a national presidential debate, and always reminding individuals that are affiliated with the campus community what those core values of Drake are and how we put those into practice.
There really is and has been a connection between the core values of the institution and the core values of Character Counts and everything that Character Counts represents. We have a wonderful document that was created by the faculty in 1993 and approved by the Faculty Senate called the Statement of Principles. It talks about the importance of civil discourse and about the respect for diversity of ideas in some very important ways, and in ways that really align very closely with some of the major emphases of Character Counts.
President Maxwell has been a key player in building our organization's strong foundation. We would not be as successful without his support.
I can't tell you how proud and honored we are to be part of the Drake University campus community. Not only in the outreach we can provide statewide on behalf of Drake University, but really the direct engagement with core programming impacting the student community life at Drake and the community outreach in the metro area. And President Maxwell, I want you to know that would not happen without your leadership and your outstanding character. And for that, we're grateful.
Congratulations to the 2012 Robert D. Ray Pillar of Character Award recipient, Dr. David Maxwell of Des Moines.
This is quite an honor, and I want you to know that I am profoundly aware that I'm the last thing between now and going home. So, but Scott and Governor Ray insisted that I share a couple of remarks with you. He told me to take about an hour. But as Suka and Mary Radia can tell you, I've been sitting here slicing out portions of my notes. But I do have a couple of thoughts that I want to share with you and elaborate on one or two things I said in the video. But I want to start off by telling you that even though I've known for a couple of months now that I'm the recipient of the Robert D. Ray Pillar of Character Award, I continue to find this recognition astounding and improbable. It is a truly humbling honor, and I want to thank the board of Character Counts in Iowa profusely for this honor. I can't begin to tell you how much it means to me and to Drake University to be recognized in this way. And when I look at the list of prior recipients, I'm even more humbled to be included in their number. And I want to extend my congratulations to my fellow honorees who are here tonight, and my personal thanks for the wonderful roles. It's really just really impressive and moving, all of the things that you've accomplished. So to thank you for your roles in serving your communities. It's a privilege to share this evening with you. And this is probably a violation of the NCAA rules, but I do hope that the whole West High volleyball team is looking at Drake for our Vice President for Admission and Student Financial Planning, Tom Delahunt, is right here. So. But I also want to reiterate what you heard me say in the video, because it bears repeating, that in addition to all of the things that this award means, it really has all the more meaning for me because it bears the name of Governor Robert D. Ray. Needless to say, I consider Governor Ray to be one of the smartest people on earth, because he was a member of the Drake University Board of Trustees Executive Committee that selected me to serve as the 12th president of Drake University. But much more important, since my arrival at Drake, Governor Ray has generously served as a friend, a mentor, a supporter, and a role model. So I thank you deeply for that. He's a powerful exemplar of someone who acts in accordance with deeply held, thoughtful set of values, and who's committed his life to serving others. I'm really fortunate at Drake to work with wonderful, wonderful people. My colleagues on the faculty and staff, members of the Board of Trustees, a number of whom are here tonight, and friends, and those categories are not mutually exclusive. I get to work with my friends. I'm also very fortunate to have a wonderful wife who's been a partner in all this for more decades than I thought I was alive. And she sends her warm regards from Maine, where she is hosting some old friends of ours from the UK who bought their plane tickets 8 months ago. So she's staying there. But I also want you to know how much it means for Drake to be recognized for this award. And I know that much of this honor is accorded to the role that Drake has come to play in our community. And it's a role that's grounded in a sense of commitment, of social compact, that's deeply embedded in all of us at Drake, students, faculty, and staff. We're very proud of the fact that we're home to character counts in Iowa, and grateful for the many ways in which the board and Scott Racker and the staff have contributed to character and leadership development on our campus. There are wonderful joint efforts as well from the service of several members of Drake's faculty and staff on the board of character counts in Iowa. The partnership that we had with Character Counts with the Greater Des Moines Community Foundation and the Central Iowa Interfaith Alliance on Better Together, which was a public civility initiative. And this coming year, something very exciting, where in Drake University's Public Relations Senior Capstone Project is going to be working with Character Counts to advance the civility initiative of the Capitol Crossroads Project. The bedrock of this collaboration, though, is that both organizations, Character Counts in Iowa and Drake University, have clearly articulated core values that are in virtually complete alignment. And as you'll hear from me in a moment, Character Counts focus on trustworthiness, respect, responsibility, fairness, caring, and citizenship have direct and very meaningful connections to the values that are at the heart of Drake University. I had a very interesting conversation on Tuesday night in Maine earlier this week, and with a retired appellate court judge. And he asked me if I agreed with his observation that colleges and and universities and their leaders used to play a prominent and vital societal role as the keeper of values, as American society's moral and ethical touchstone. He asked if he felt that was no longer the case, and he wanted my reaction. And unfortunately, I think he's mostly right for a variety of reasons. Thanks in part to the behavior of higher education over the last several decades, and in great part thanks to media sensationalism. Sorry, Lynn. The public these days thinks more about the high cost of attendance, about student loan debt, about graduation and job placement rates. They think about Penn State They look at us as anything but moral and ethical beacons. And further, I think that college and university presidents are less likely to speak out on issues because of the toxic nature of public discourse, because we have become so antagonistic as a society, because every issue seems to get an ideological label slapped on it, even if it's not really a political issue, that they're afraid that those who disagree with them will punish their university by not sending their children or their dollars to the institution. And in some cases, because their boards themselves are so deeply divided ideologically and politically that presidents are afraid to put their job at risk by taking a public stand. In this sense, colleges and universities and their leaders have become victims of the disintegration of civility in public discourse, victims of the fact that we seem to live in an era in which belief and assertion seem to have the same validity as knowledge and facts. We're victims of the fact that most of the so-called news outlets, as well as so-called reality TV, are conditioning the public to believe that screaming, yelling, interrupting, and name-calling are the ways in which people conduct meaningful discourse, when in reality they're the verbal equivalent of professional wrestling. It's staged. It's not real. They're not real. They're not true. They're scripted to entertain. And I fear they're destroying our collective IQ as a nation. We've certainly lost our ability as a public and as public policymakers to carry out reasoned discourse about vital issues that affect the future of the country. And you know it's going to get worse as the campaign season heats up. And this phenomenon makes the role of colleges and universities and organizations like Character Counts in Iowa all the more important in a civil society. A university must serve as the place where people can come together to debate the critical issues of the day in an atmosphere of mutual respect, civility, and the spirit of inquiry. Let me give you a semi-facetious, but perhaps useful example of the difference between contemporary public discourse as it's played out on TV and among people directly, on the one hand, and the ideal spirit of academic discourse in a university community. So here's my hypothetical, somewhat facetious example of contemporary public discourse. I believe A, you believe B. Therefore, from my perspective, you're an idiot, evil, the spawn of the devil, and everyone you know is going to burn in hell. Right? That's contemporary public discourse. Academic discourse, on the other hand, I believe A, you believe B. And my reaction should be, that's really interesting. Tell me what your evidence is for B. How did you come to think that? Let's talk about this. And if it's really productive, our conversation will produce C, which is better than the A and B that we started with. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not pretending that academics don't scream and yell and interrupt and call each other names on occasion. Just not at Drake. At Drake University, our commitment to our core values is deep, explicit, and very, very public. Our most recent strategic plan, which is available on the university's website and about to be replaced by our next strategic plan, contains the following passage. Drake University's mission, vision, ongoing operations, and strategic planning are all informed by a set of core values that in essence define who we are and what we want to be as a university. It is critical that these values guide us in the small choices that we make on a daily basis and in the large choices that we make in crafting the future of the institution. These values determine what we do and how we do it. In 1993, and I referred to this briefly in the video, I want to share a couple of important passages with you. The Drake University Faculty Senate wrote and approved a tremendously important document called the Statement of Principles that has served, certainly in my tenure, as a constitutional document that provides invaluable guidance in situations that often require extremely thoughtful, careful, and nuanced decision-making. So in closing, I'd like to share part of that document with you. And it reads, and I quote, Drake encourages and protects diverse perspectives and the free flow of ideas and discussion among its members. Such diversity and differences of opinion generate debate that produces knowledge and a greater understanding of what it means to be human. It goes on to say, we realize that freedom of thought and freedom of expression produce conflict and challenge. We encourage civil debate and discussion of divergent perspectives and opinions in a manner that affirms our community, not divides it, affirms it. We seek to create a community in which shared purpose transcends difference and respect for human dignity transcends conflict. One more passage from the Statement of Principles. While cherishing and defending the freedom of speech to the full extent provided by the First Amendment of the United States Constitution, Drake University declares its abhorrence of statements that demean, denigrate, humiliate, or express hatred towards members of the university community. Now, you may have noticed as I've read these passages that there's a troubling disjuncture between the core values of Drake University and the role of the university in a civil society, on the one hand, and contemporary public and public policy discourse. The challenge for us in the higher education community, for Drake University and for me as Drake's president, is to find ways to regain our previous position in the public consciousness, to find ways to influence the quality of debate, to find ways to escape from the morass of incivility and hostility in which we've immersed ourselves. It's a difficult and very complex challenge, but one that we have to maintain if we're to reclaim and to fulfill our central responsibility in a civil society. So let me close by again telling you how deeply humbled and honored I am to receive this award. I thank Character Counts in Iowa for recognizing the vital importance of this public role of the university with this award, and I look forward to our continuing collaboration in service to our community and to our nation. Thank you very much.